It's really, really interesting to teach about gender nowadays because I guess at this point, about 10, 12, maybe 15 years ago, it would be really, really like, I guess it would have you looking at the world and socialization in a new way when you learned about gender, biological sex, things along those lines. But nowadays, so much of this information is much more common knowledge. And so if it seems familiar to you, I'm glad to hear it. Um, I am going to share with you my very favorite gender theory, which sounds kind of nerdy to have a favorite gender theory, but I actually get to teach sociology of gender at Cal State Long Beach, where I also teach in addition to Santiago Canyon. So when you teach gender for a whole semester, you end up with a favorite gender theory. So, first question though, uh, for going like top row, left to right, if you were answering, is that cute little baby who's crawling a boy or girl? And the baby in the middle with the yellow background, boy or girl? And the baby with the blonde hair and the big blue eyes, boy or girl? Same thing on that bottom row, boy or girl, right? Boy or girl. I want you to think about what age do we as human beings, as socialized members of families and things along those lines, at what age do we start to realize the impact of our gender identity? And so that idea of it's not necessarily the nature versus nurture. So when do we start to learn the impact? Maybe if we have older siblings that are brothers or sisters, something along those lines. Here's the thing with that question, which hopefully you saw: is it a boy or girl? There's something kind of problematic about it. Can you maybe think of what it was? There it is again. The word it. When we say it, we're dehumanizing, right? That's it is an object. And so a better way to ask this question would be, are they a boy or girl? Okay. So the sociological definition of biological sex is the application of socially agreed upon biological criteria. Sociologists are not about necessarily the body. Like, for instance, psychologists can be really studying the brain. We're not necessarily focused on the body, but we're focused on the ways that we label the bodies and the ways that those symbols and the power structures that get formed around them operate. So we as sociologists define biological sex as the application of socially agreed upon biological criteria. Bodies are bodies. People have bodies, right? But we label those bodies. So then here is, like I said, my favorite gender theory. I'm going to walk you through it. It comes in four parts. So, and you can see by Weston Zimmerman. It is routine, methodical, and a reoccurring accomplishment. That's the first three parts, as you can see. Think about what you do every single day. I am not a morning person, but I'm working on it. It's about a 60-year project at this point. Maybe in 20 more years, I'll actually be capable of it. But I get up every morning. I have to say, I do exercise like every morning, and I have for like 6, I think, years. Like, it's just a complete and total habit. It's it's what I do. It's the only way that I guess my body knows how to feel great. And I wake up, I have crazy hair in the morning. Like, there's no way to save my hair after sleeping and exercising besides just hopping in the shower and at least wetting it down. But apparently it's curly hair. You're not supposed to like wash it with shampoo. There's like no poo, but like there's all this stuff. And if you're listening to me talk about this right now and you're like, why are you talking about your shampoo and conditioner? Because it's methodical. That's why. Because we think through these steps. Being a person who is female bodied and socialized as feminine, hair is supposed to be important. And I agree, it would be nice if my hair looked nice. It doesn't. Spoiler alert. But it would be really, really nice if I could somehow maximize my very thin, increasingly gray, curly hair. That's us being methodical. We put a lot of thought, whether we realize it or not, into our gender kind of performance, the things that we do. And we accomplish gender. I will go through the day and I will have accomplished femininity. And people will see me and buy it, right? Because I fit into the binary, which is a term we're going to be talking about in a future lecture, that I am female bodied and feminine. So I accomplish femininity. And then finally, I manage my behavior. And we talked about this with socialization and norms. I manage my behavior in the ways that I am expected to, the norms that we have in our society for femininity. So again, It's routine, methodical. You're accomplishing it every day. You're thinking about it, whether you realize it in some ways or not. You're doing it constantly. And then you are managing the ways that you act in order to keep up with gender norms.